And then fill up here a little bit.
Okay,
Saw Miriam's lips move, but she's muted, so I didn't hear what she had to say.
Oh, I was just commenting that Mel looked like he was sitting in the snow, and then I realized, no, that's a photo backdrop.
Yeah, that's my front door behind me there. Notice all the snow on the ground?
Yes.
Yeah. Aren't you a little cold?
Not in here, of course, but it's, I think it was 29 the last time I checked, which was just before I got in here about a half hour ago or so. In fact, I'm gonna leave here for a minute and go grab me a drink, so. Yeah, if you would. Please. Give me one of those Gatorades. No. Is the sound of my printer, or any of you noticing it in the background?
it sounds good to me. I don't hear it.
Yeah, my wife's printing a bunch of pictures again. Getting ready for the next couple of weeks on the scrapbooking. She got way behind while we were in California with all the other things we had going on. And now that we're here and she's got a place to keep it set up, she's able to start catching up a little bit. And I think she's caught up a couple of years already.
All right, well, I see it is the appointed hour. I see we do have a quorum. We do have two guests. And I'm going to call the meeting to order at 10:30 exactly. All right, I've acknowledged our guests. Alice, are you monitoring? Do you have any questions about the transcript? Being able to view the transcript, we can save it at the end. I will do that for you and email it to you to simplify the process for you getting a copy of the verbal transcript. Hank has offered to record the meeting and he has that permission to do so. And so Hank will continue to record the meeting as he has in the past, and I will not bother to do that.
I have no idea. Just send it to me because I don't see anything on this, or I'm, that's fine. Just send it to me after it's over.
I will do that.
I do have one quick question though.
Yeah,
Did you determine that it was a requirement that we continue to leave Louise Gillingham on the list of board members? She has requested that her name be taken off, and I thought that we could do that and just have the publicity as vacant.
I have no objections to leaving it as vacant. If you're leaving to me as a personal decision or the decision of the president.
We looked it up before in the bylaws and it isn't addressed, but I don't see any need to leave her name on there.
Well, if she's requested not to have her name published on it, we should not have it in anything that we show, but we should keep it in the back of our minds that per the way our bylaws are set up, referring to the Robert's Rules of Order for things not covered in the bylaws, she is actually still in there until her successor's elected and qualified. In other words, we have to get somebody else to do the job before her name, she becomes separate from it.
All right, let's defer this to when we get to the minutes, and I'll
Yeah,
ask
that's fine.
Alice. I'll ask Alice to bring it up.
I thought it was going to be quick and easy.
Yeah. Miriam, would you have a comment?
Well, if we are on the agenda changes, I'd like to say that it's Saturday, February the 12th.
Yes, got that, understood.
Okay.
Hank, do you have a comment, please?
Yes, I have a request. I think it's addressed to Mel. Mel, are you the one that's put together the the SCG board list.
Yeah, you're talking about the board group list?
Yes,
Yeah. in fact, I
the
was
email
just
list
reading
that I
there
can
this
just
morning.
click on.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just want to know whether the email list that says SCG board list that Google Groups is up to date, including the ones that Stan has appointed.
No, I was trying to update it before the meeting this morning, ran into a little bit of issue with their updating program, so I had to send a message to maybe CUG about it. I got an answer after I got on here, started talking, so I'll be able to address it. after
Okay,
we finish
if
this meeting.
it's not up to date by tomorrow, would you email me and I'll use another system.
Yeah, okay, I will go into this after this meeting and make sure it's correct. If for any reason I cannot get it corrected, I will send you a message letting you know
That's
it's
great.
not correct.
That's great. Thank you.
I would like to add to Mel, when you get that updated, please send it to the board. Please send it to that address, and we can all confirm that we're on it and confirm that it looks right. So send it to that address. If I think you understand, so that we can
Yeah.
understand. Okay.
Just to let you know, I would just have to send you a copy of the list that I worked from to put it together. So I can send that to everybody to double check and make sure that I've got their stuff right.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And so we are on agenda changes. Does anybody else have anything they would like to add? Miriam, yes.
Yeah, on this thing about the Google email list, would you send the name of the list as well? It seems that in my address book, I've got a bunch of them now, and I'd like to know which is the latest and get rid of the old ones.
That is true for everyone on the board, Mel.
Yep.
Okay.
That won't be an issue for me to do.
All right.
I have a comment. Isn't it amazing how much work is entailed when somebody in this group volunteers to do something?
Yes. All right. Moving forward. Minutes of the previous board meeting have been included in the mail out, I believe. Any comments? I'll accept a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Alice and Mel. All in favor of the motion, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Arlene, are you voting one way or the other? I don't think
Yeah,
she,
I'm voting yes.
okay, thank you. Or I'm a little quick on that vote. Sorry about that. Motion carries. Thank you very much. President's report. As you might have noticed, we are using a different version, you might say, of Zoom. This is by courtesy of Walkabout. Walkabout pays $150 a year for a paid pro version, and it has a few features that the AppSug version has, but may have, but has not implemented. One of which is the closed captioning, which I think you all see that it's enabled. There's a button at the bottom of the screen so that you can take advantage of it. There will be a transcript is being recorded and you can monitor that. I would encourage you to look at the options that are down by that icon so you can see the features that are available to you. And I will be sending a copy of the transcript to Alice King to assist her in preparing the minutes. For that purpose, I would encourage you and myself to identify yourself audibly when you make a motion or something like that, as I did when I summarized the vote, who made the motion and who seconded. Any questions on this version of Zoom? Otherwise, it's much the same as the AppSec version. Okay, and if there's no objections, I would like to use this version for our board meetings. And unless somebody wants to propose it otherwise, I'll continue with the AppSec version for our regular general meetings. Okay, administration report, Will.
Yeah, I don't have anything to report as a vice president. However, I can do my membership report now.
Yes, please.
All right, we, just a minute, if you let me do a screen share.
Yes,
Okay, hold on just a second. Let me get what I need. Okay, does everyone see ClipMate Explorer with the date, active life, etc. on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, right now we have active 53 members, of which 10 are life members. And there's still 15 members from last year that have not renewed. Currently, we have 28 that have paid, but we have the additional 10 life members. So essentially, we have 38 once we drop 15 as of March the 1st, which is when we drop the people that have not renewed. So any questions about that? I just mailed off 2 checks that we received to our treasurer, and she should get them either today or Monday. And we did have one a renewal that came with $100. So I listed that as 15 for renewal and 85 for donation.
I have a comment.
Yes.
I went through recently and tried to get all those who are attending these meetings but are not members to join. And I believe only one of them did, and I'm not sure that her money has even come through yet. Will, I'm sure you remember who that was. I don't at the moment. But I make the point that we're withering away by losing 15 members. And you used to call each person that hadn't paid. Will, you going to do that this year?
I did not call. I believe it was Richard Hardy that did it.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
I
However, I
think-
did send out emails to everybody reminding them that we would like them to renew. But that was done maybe a couple of months ago. However, I
remember
do
we
see an
lost
error.
A couple of them through death this year.
What say, Mel?
There were a couple of them passed away this year, so that accounts for some of them.
Yeah.
Correct. I did notice that under here, under the new members, I have 0. Actually, the number is 1. We did have 1 new member who signed up for this year. I think it was Sammy Olnick.
Does anyone agree with me enough to volunteer to get the list from Mel of those who've not renewed and call them? Deafening silence.
Yeah, don't all speak at once.
Okay, everybody. I'm the
One other thing, I'm putting together a welcoming letter to new and renewing members that we have not done before, but But I think we talked about this in earlier meetings, that it's important we do that to acknowledge that they have sent in their money or renewed their membership. So I was just waiting to get some information, more information for that particular letter, but it'll go out this week.
That's
Is it
good. I think that's a good
necessary? Would
idea.
you like me to send a copy of that, of those letters to the board for approval before they go out?
Personally, I don't have an aversion to somebody taking initiative in that manner. And I don't think it requires board action for you to prepare. I would like a copy of it as sent.
Yeah, well, I'll send a
But
copy.
I think we have confidence in you to do that without board action.
Okay, we talked
would
about
agree.
this before.
Well, I didn't quite understand what the letter was, you were going to send out was about.
Oh, it's just essentially an acknowledgement of people who have renewed, because they don't really get any indication that we've received their renewal. And this way, when they get an email back saying, yes, we welcome, etc., that indicates to them that indeed we have received their renewal.
Will, I would like to request a update, a copy of the full database again, and I will take the action of sending a email to those who have not renewed. I don't want a subset of the entire database. I just want a copy of the entire database, and I can select out what I want. So I would urge you to send me a copy of the currently active database, and I will prepare a message to those who have not renewed that were active last year.
Okay, I think I already have a document generated that does that, so I can send that to you too, and you can modify it.
I want a document of the entire database,
Yes.
not a subset.
Okay.
Good on you, Stan.
Thank you.
All right. That's all I
Okay.
have.
You have anything else, Will?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, Hank, programs and Zoom. Anything to comment on?
Yes, I have run out of ideas for programs. I have one scheduled for the first weekend in March, I think it is. The Bob Gustacha, I can never pronounce his name right.
Bob G.
The guy who does the security briefing every year will join us at our first meeting in March, but that's the only thing I have on the front or back burners for presentations. So all of you who have some great thing in computers that you do that you want to share with everybody else, please send me an email, call me on the phone, write me a letter, something.
Hank, I have a quick question. You know, we've always had that gentleman come from Avast and gave a very good presentation, and it's been a while. Would it be of any benefit to anyone else? I wouldn't mind having him come on and just tell us the latest thing that Avast is doing.
That's
That's the
the
one we're
guy he's
talking about.
talking about.
Oh, that's the one that's coming?
Yep.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't hear the word Avast.
Yeah.
I didn't say that word.
It's
That's why I didn't
Avast
hear it,
and
I guess.
ABG now. They've combined together.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again, Mel.
Avast and ABG have become one company now.
Oh, I didn't
under
realize
the
that. Okay.
Avast name.
Okay.
They're still either marketing under their separate names, but
Got
they're
it.
one company now.
Okay.
I still miss the name that Avast is associated with.
ABG.
What the hell is ABG?
Oh, it's
It's an antivirus program.
Oh, AVG. And okay. Now I remember. All right. My apologies.
They got a very good VPN that's very low price for VPNs.
Okay.
His name is Bob Gustica, but we call him Bob G.
All right, okay, got it. That's, yeah, okay.
Okay, moving forward to the treasurer's report. Miriam,
Hello. The beginning balance was $4,587.35. The ending balance was $4,722.35. We got 15 checks that I deposited, and I did receive in January 3 more checks, but I didn't deposit them until February, so they'll show up then. The only other thing I have to report on is that I am starting to work on the 501c3 status stuff. I've done the stuff with the IRS. I still have to do something with, I guess, FTB and the state attorney general, but I'm working on it.
As I said earlier, Miriam, I'm sending you, I mailed out yesterday 2 checks to you for $30.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you run into any issues with any of those reports, let me know and I'll see if I can help you.
Yeah, well, I managed to get it done last year. I think this year we will probably have to pay something because I didn't pay anything last year.
You shouldn't have to pay anything anytime with our income levels.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, pretty low. Okay, that's my report.
I
did
move that
you,
we accept as presented.
Miriam, did you have a concern about being able to identify new versus renew? Or is that not a problem?
Well, I'm not doing it. I am assuming that the job of maintaining all of that information is the membership chairman's. I'm just taking it all in as dues because there is no way I can identify it.
Yeah, no, I
without
keep track of
getting
that.
all involved in the membership stuff.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah.
All right, next item on the agenda is committee report. Mel, on raffle via Zoom, do you have any added to that?
Not really. I'm running into more of an issue than I thought I would with it, so it may not happen.
All right. We can take that off the agenda. Any new business, anything anybody would like to bring up for consideration for current or future action?
I just have a question that I posed to Mel, and he responded that we started this organization in 1984. So by my calculation, we've been in business 38 years. Is that number correct?
Sounds right. I've got some copies of some documents here that I kept that I can go back through and I can tell you exact.
I think that's correct. I put a new logo together when we got to 35 years. And seems to me that that was about 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, by my calculations, 2022 from 1984 is 38 years. So I guess we'll make a new logo when we hit 40, if we ever do. I wanted to include that in the welcoming letter that I send out to new members and reminder to old members how long we've been going.
Very
idea.
good. Okay. Next meeting will be March 12th. And we'll again do it this way if there's no objections.
Before you close, could I say one more thing?
Of course.
We used to have a benefit of being a member that was specific. You got the Bits and Bytes newsletter. We don't have a Bits and Bytes newsletter anymore, so there is no specific benefit of becoming a member. You can attend without being a member. We're glad to have you here. But if anyone thinks up something that would attract non-members who attend to become members, please bring it up at a board meeting. Might help with our membership.
Well, what
Viral.
strikes me is we could give notice that we're not extending the invitation unless you are a member. And
I
consider
have
that.
promised everyone that has asked to attend these things that we won't do that. So I'd be very uncomfortable if we dropped them.
Okay, I'm open to any other suggestion. We could
You
give
know,
them,
other organizations often send out membership cards. We might consider doing that, generating some sort of a card that we send out to people. I don't know what's involved in the cost of generating a
What would be the
plastic
benefit? I
card
think the
or a
majority of
heavy
that would be,
cardboard card.
I think most of that would end up in the trash or just sitting on someone's desk. I don't know that that would be
I don't think it's enough.
worth the cost that it would be to do it. It's a nice idea, but nowadays people they don't even get the business cards. They don't keep them.
Yeah.
I see
Okay,
Mel,
I got my hand up, so let me
Yes,
speak here.
I
right quick.
recognize Mel.
When we generated cards way back when, that card could get you a bit of a discount at a computer store that is now closed. And if we could arrange something, say with Fry's or someplace like that, that if you presented that card, you could get, say, a 5% discount or something.
That's a great idea.
No, Fry's does do that type of thing.
Fries is gone.
Yeah, no more fries.
But it's a great idea, Mel.
Yeah, if we can come up with something like that and be able to give them a little extra incentive, we might be able to do it, someplace that people would, it wouldn't be something most people wouldn't be interested in.
Best Buy
Most
comes
people
to
would
mind.
be interested in.
Staples comes to mind.
If anyone go near Best Buy now and then,
Yeah, but
No.
here it's right next to Staples, so it could do either one. I think more people might use Staples. I don't know.
How
yeah,
about both?
those are
You'd be
the
able to
two
get them
places that
both.
Or both, get both.
You'd have to talk to the store manager and find out who at corporate you could talk to so they could go to any of the stores and get the discount.
I would go, but it's a little far from Kailua.
Come on, what a wimp.
I think that's a great idea.
If somebody thinks it's a great enough idea to walk in there and talk to the manager, I think that'd be really worthwhile.
Oh, I'll talk to Staples.
Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate that.
Great idea.
Okay, incidentally, for the record, that was Will Wakely that offered to check at Staples.
And
How
it was,
about Best Buy? Anybody close by? to
yes.
Best Buy?
I think Best Buy's a logical one also.
Is there anybody close by to Best Buy? Apparently not.
Might be able to do it by phone or email.
I think it takes a personal touch for this kind of thing.
I also suspect it's going to take dealing with corporate if you're really asking for a discount.
Yeah, I think so too.
If you just want to put a sticker in the window, the manager could probably handle that, but you start talking discounts of any value, the local guy is not going to help you much.
Yeah.
Plus,
Just a
everybody
thought.
would be using a different location.
You never know until you ask.
That's right.
Exactly.
I'll do a little exploring with what I can find online to try to get in touch with corporate. And if I can find anything, then I'll let you know.
great.
Okay, for the record, that was Mel Weekly made that comment. All right. Any other things anybody would like to bring up? Hearing none. I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay,
Barbara
Yeah.
and Will made the motion to adjourn. All in favor of the motion, aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Thank you all for being here.
is
And
anyone going to, is
with
anyone going
less
to,
than 30 minutes. What is it, Barbara?
is anyone going to be taking computer problems today?
Yes, I'm just about to turn it over to Hank
Oh,
and Will.
okay, because I got one.
Okay, all right, and Hank, you're the prime, and you can take it as you will.
Go ahead, Will.
Okay,
Q&A.
all right. Mel, you have your hand up. You have something for Q&A or other discussion?
Yeah, I just had a question. I wanted to be sure that on the officers for that officers list that the board list that I'm doing, make sure that we need to have all officers make sure that their data in the database is up to date. So I don't end up putting up an email address, for example, that's no longer valid or something like that.
Yeah, I noticed
Just
that Bob
double check
Myers.
that.
Bob Myers' email bounces apparently.
Yeah, his is bouncing, and there's another one that's bouncing too. I can't remember. I don't have it in front of me. One of the, I think it was one of the Canadian ladies that's bouncing.
Okay, if you'll let me know, I'll check on that.
Yeah, I'll send you some. I'll send you something after the meeting.
Okay. Right. Barbara, do you have something?
Yes, I have a problem. I don't know if there's anyone really familiar with the Libra program. I've been using it for years as my Office instead of Microsoft Office. And I've just been putting in a spreadsheet, but when I go to print it, this has never happened to me before. When I go to print it, the column that says $0 or any space that says 0, it just leaves a hole. It won't print the 0.
That's true in Excel also.
Is it?
Yes.
So how do you?
Zero does not show the numerical 0. And I object to that. I wish it did show zeros, but it doesn't.
There is
Supposing
a
you-
setting somewhere that changes that. I can't remember where it is though.
I've been through everything and I can't. The only way I've found I can change it is if I change the format of that space to text instead of dollars.
Have you tried typing in 0.00?
Yeah. And if I put it in as a dollar sign with the dollar sign as currency, it won't print. If I change the format on that particular space to text and type 0.00, it'll print.
Well, the default in Excel is to print the zeros.
Yeah.
So if it's not printing, it means some setting has been inadvertently changed. We'll have to figure out what that setting is so we can let you know. I'll explore that a little bit. That you got me interested now.
Yeah, okay. I said it's not happened to me before, and I printed out my annual summary here, and I just about had a fit when all that column with the zeros is empty. So,
Yeah, that bothers me too in Excel.
okay, okay. I'm glad it's affecting other people too. I don't know what changes they've made to this program because I really like it. But anyway, if you guys do some exploring the next meeting, next week, I will check back. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, like I
Arlene?
say, I'll check it out because the default should be printing 0.
Yeah.
Mine prints it. I've never had an issue with it, so I'll have to go find out where I can change it.
Okay, thanks, Mel. Arlene?
Mel.
I have a question for Hank. The lady who's looking for help with a Moto phone.
Yes.
Peter has a Moto phone, not the same model. How do I get in touch with her to see if I can help her?
Well, someone has already sent her a, probably Ross.
No,
Maybe
it was
not, I
I.
forget.
No, it was I.
Someone has already sent her a YouTube video that describes that particular phone rather well.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I did that.
Thank you, Will.
And she has thanked you, right, Will?
Maybe I haven't seen the email. No.
I think so.
Okay. All right. All right, Stanley?
Just want to remind you that the chat window now allows you to send messages to individuals. And anyway, that's working. Unlike the AppSug version, you can send messages to individuals if you want to address a question to individuals. And for those recently signed in, I just want to remind you that we have closed captioning activated. I would encourage you to see the options that are available under CC transcript and exercise it. This will be available on the second Saturday of our senior computer group meetings when we're using a different version of Zoom. By the way, what's the most recent version? I haven't updated in the last week or so. Does anybody know what the most recent version is?
0.8 is the last one I saw.
I missed the first. What's the
5.9.3. Okay.
Oh, it's jumped that much already. Wow.
Thank
Been
you.
there for the last
9.3.
couple of weeks.
593. Thank you.
I just
Dan, I just
updated a
want to
week
say
and a
that-
half ago.
Stan, I just want to say that I turned on that transcript and it's very interesting. If somebody really needed it, it's very easy to follow.
Yes, Dan, I really like this subtitle. That's really
Yeah,
nice.
it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Is there any chance, Hank, that you could inquire of our
Yeah.
HCG, see if they would do that?
I'll do that.
I think it's very
Ask
helpful.
Judy.
You know, I'm amazed at how quickly and how well it recognizes voices, all different voices with different, but it recognizes it and very accurately types them out.
I agree. It's interesting to watch.
Yeah. But again, if something is operating, you wonder how it can do it so quickly, but you have to understand that something's operating at something like what, 3 billion times per second, which is hard to even think about. Okay. I had a comment. Let's see if I can remember. Like Mel, I sometimes forget what I was going to talk about. Well, it'll come back later. Anybody else have any? Oh, I recall now. I would like somebody to tell me, or somehow I can find out. I see photographs with circles and red circles and arrows on the photograph. Does anybody know how that's done? Do you have to have Photoshop in order to make that work?
Make what work?
Well, some photographs that you add a red circle to identify a specific area of the photograph or an arrow. Saul has his hand up. Saul?
Yeah, you know the free graphic program View.
Yes.
So in the edit menu, you can open up a paint dialog and you can annotate graphics in that. It has a palette and things like that, you know, for arrows, circles, squares. You can select different colors and stuff like that. I do that frequently.
Oh, thank you. I used to use View and I haven't loaded it recently, so I need to do that.
You can also do it in Paint Shop Pro. That has tools in there to do it. And that is a paid program. But every year I kind of wait a little bit. When they put them out new version, I wait a little bit, and I usually end up getting it for less than $30.
Do I recall correctly that Photoshop has a free version?
There is a little free, basically a demo is what it is. Doesn't have most of the tools in it.
Well, I don't like most of the tools because there's like 10,000 of them and I can never figure out all the tools. Okay, other people with questions? I don't see any hands raised at this point. Oh,
I
yes,
had one and I forgot it again.
Saul.
I just had a question of Barbara, just to clarify what she was asking about. That when you have the spreadsheet in LibreOffice open and you can visually see the zero as currency in the cell, but when you go to print it, the zero does not show up. It shows up as a blank cell. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, that's correct.
Or are you able to export that, say, as a PDF and try doing it there? I'm just wondering where the zero printing gets lost.
I haven't tried that. I've been right now, I've been just reformatting those columns and just making them text.
I understand, but David McCall did a presentation a few
I
weeks
know,
back,
yeah.
having it not to do with this, but creating a PDF from scratch. So clearly LibreOffice has the ability to export as PDF. And so you might
Okay.
try that and just see if the zero shows up in the PDF. And if it does, then you could print it from the PDF.
From the PDF, right. Okay, great. I'll give that a whirl. Thank you.
I had a similar problem. I'm trying to recall exactly what it was. I think it was in Excel and it would show up on the screen, but when I went to print, that particular column would not show up in the print. And that confused me. I don't
The
recall
whole
details.
column?
Yeah, entire columns would not print.
You might want to check your print area.
Well, that could be, although it did print the columns, but they were empty rather than.
That's
filled
different.
out.
That's not the column not showing up.
No,
That's printing an empty column.
Yeah, I misspoke, but that was the case. It would print some columns that were active, but then other columns that I added, it would not print those for some reason. I don't know why.
You could use a tool I use a lot. And that's when you go to print it, in laying out the print, you tell it to show all columns on one page. And then if you've got a lot of columns and it gets them too small, you start printing in instead of portraits. Oh boy, you print in landscape. Had trouble remembering the word for a minute. I use that a lot to avoid that issue.
Okay, other questions?
I want to make one comment to Stan. You notice, Stan, that we only have 13 participants this week. That's the least that we've had in years.
I did not notice that, but yeah, I think that's true. I think perhaps your invitation.
Before you decide to do this every week, let's try it one more time and maybe I'll put something in the next month's announcement that says something like, if you don't plan to attend using this new format, would you please tell us why, or something like that. Because we don't want to lose people because
I'm
of
trying to
format.
talk here. Let me tell you, my intent and my verbiage was that the board meeting, I would like to continue to use this, but the regular general meeting would revert to the AppSug version of the invitation. If there's an objection to that, we don't, we can revert to the AppSug version. I just thought there were some advantages to this for our board meeting. If you want to extend this to the general meeting, which I did not propose, we could do that. But I'm just saying, I would just like to use this version for our board meeting and revert to the AppSug version and the AppSug invitation that you normally send. I think the invitation that you sent was perhaps a little intimidating.
Alice has,
I just wanted to make a comment that I don't think it has anything to do with the transcription. It's because the people didn't want to attend the board meeting. Because I think, I don't think that I think the transcription's great if we have it, and I think Stan's path is a good one. But I don't think that's what is affecting. I think it's just because it was a board meeting and they didn't know there was a specific subject.
I would agree.
Stanley, what's the other advantage of this other than the CC?
Chat.
The chat window, yeah. That's about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Mel?
I don't know if you guys heard me laughing or not, but I got to tell you about a mistake in the closed caption. AppSug came out suck.
Oh, geez.
SUCK instead of CUG.
Have to enunciate.
Once again, proving that humans are better than computers.
Right.
Just not as fast.
Uh-huh.
Well, when it comes to language.
Yeah.
I'm still amazed at how accurate the transcription is.
I agree.
It
And
used to be you'd have to read a paragraph or two into the program in order for it to even be 95% correct. And now it's 100% no matter what dialect you might have.
And it comes up so quickly. I mean, it's immediate.
very fast.
Saul?
I'm just reverting back to Barbara one more time. I launched LibreOffice, went into Calc, put in a 0, formatted as currency, and I did a print preview, and the 0 shows up there. And I'm just wondering if, people said this happens in Excel. I've never had it happen in Excel, but my Excel is ancient. So maybe it's something in a newer version of Excel. Okay. It prints whatever you see on the screen, pretty much. That's the whole point.
Well, the zeros don't show
WYSIWYG,
up
what
on the
you see
screen.
is what you get. And so I don't know. I've never heard of this before is what I'm trying to say. And it doesn't appear to be occurring in my LibreOffice, which is fairly current. Okay. So I'm
Okay.
wondering if there's either something corrupt in your LibreOffice and you might want to uninstall it and install a new download or something, because I've just never heard of this occurring before.
It's
I've never
not
had it
occurring in
happen.
the,
Yeah,
it's not
I've
occurring
never
in the
had it
latest
happen
version
before.
of Excel either.
Yeah, I said
In
I've
my
never had
Excel-
it happen, and I've used Libre for years, so I don't know. But I'll take your suggestion. I'll uninstall and reinstall it. See what,
Or try exporting to PDF just to see if it makes a difference. But it does have a print preview. And I'm just curious, when you go to
Yeah.
print preview, do you see an empty cell or do you see
Yeah.
the 0 currency?
I see an empty cell.
And that's what you're going to get. And the print preview
Yeah.
is going to print that way.
Right. That's strange. Okay, I'll experiment.
My Excel the same way. If I put in a 0, it doesn't show up in the cell.
In my Excel, I'm looking at an Excel spreadsheet right now that has a whole bunch of zeros in it in print preview. It also has a whole bunch of blank cells.
I
But
think you're going to find that it's a setting that has gotten changed on
Something,
you,
yeah.
and we got to figure out what that is. You got me curious now. I'll do a little exploring, see if I can come up with an answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I've really got everybody kind of wondering. Okay, next week. Okay, what was I going to do here? I was going to close it.
Apparently not many problems this week.
I got one quick question for you. Are you guys using headsets? Are you having trouble sometimes getting your headset to come on and for the sessions with Zoom? Because I'm having trouble getting mine to switch over to the headset instead of the instead of using my camera up there, and I've never had to turn my camera off before to get it to work. So anyway, if anybody else runs into something like that, I'd appreciate you giving me a buzz and let me know, and maybe we work together to try to figure it out. Because I couldn't get mine to come on this morning.
Is it the listening, the sound that's not coming through, or is it the microphone?
Both. And I know it was working earlier, but on other stuff.
Yours is wired, or is it Bluetooth?
Mine is Bluetooth.
It's a Bluetooth problem. It's not a wired problem. You would solve it with a wired headset. I too have trouble with Bluetooth. It's quite often, well, too often, I have to, in settings, select the Bluetooth device, forget it. That's an action that's by disassociating the Bluetooth device, then re-find it and reconnect in order to activate. And I have to do that far too often than I should.
Well, it was working with other stuff right up until the point I started Zoom, and then it quit working in Zoom. So I'm going to go back and see if it's still working in the other stuff, or if it's lost it completely.
Ross has a comment.
Yeah, Mel, you might go back into the control panel into the sound settings and see what the default device is for the microphone. It needs to be your Bluetooth headset being the default there to start with, is where I would look at.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Hank?
Stanley, you turned the meeting over to me, but I'm turning it back over to you because you're the only one that can close the meeting.
Not really, but I don't recommend it closing until everybody leaves. I always leave the meeting open until everybody's gone. I think it's a little abrupt to close the meeting while anyone is still hanging on.
You know,
Sure.
sometimes I hang on just to see if any last minute questions come up that I'd be interested in hearing the answers on.
Okay, I'm leaving. Bye, everybody, and thank you for your help.